What's going on, guys? Welcome to the show. It's Friday, August 9th. We got some interesting updates from Ceedee Lamb and Jerry Jones. Jerry saying he really don't care. He's not thinking about Ceedee Lamb's extension, which for us in fantasy is not what you want to hear, right? So listen, I think this has a really big impact, and I'm probably going to be adjusting my rankings here very soon on a few of the top receivers, looking at their playoff schedule, kind of some concerns that I have about them as well. So listen, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to answer your guys' questions and a whole lot more. You already know what it is. It's the Justin Henry Show, man. Dubs in the chat.
And I'm going to tell you this, you don't got to agree with everything I say. Just remember that I said it. All right? Just remember that. Justin Henry Show when champs begin. Never fall off, only lock in. From draft day to Sunday night. Advice on point, cashing everything inside. Welcome to the show. Winners get they shine on. Breaking down plays, fantasy, my mind on. Remember the take, spin it back. Know to start a show with W's in the chat. Never settling for less, always raise the bar. Don't take offense, call your favorite try hard. NEL taking turn to life lessons. All about a buck in here like Mike Evans. Bijan with the big games, ain't no fumble. Underrated like Kamara. Still humble. Daily show beast mode every single week. About to change the game. AR-15. Justin Henry Show when champs begin. Never fall off. Only lock in. From draft day to Sunday night. Advice on point. Cashing everything inside. Welcome to the show where winners get they shine on. Breaking down plays. Fantasy my mind on. Remember the take. Spin it back. Know to start a show with W's in the chat.
Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the show. We did an early show today, man. I wasn't planning on going live today. I have a vacation scheduled, so I will be out this weekend through Sunday. If you guys haven't got the draft guide already, like I said, it's loaded, 40 pages. Appreciate everybody who's supported so far and got it. Hopefully, you guys are getting a ton of value out of that, all right? But listen, I'm going to talk about Ceedee Lamb. I'm going to go over some of your guys' questions. I have a new update on the rankings, so I'm actually going to put out a second update because I'm so far in this now with Justin Jefferson. I talked about this with Tyler on stream yesterday, so you might see that video drop here in the next couple days. Excuse me, but I'm going to be changing my my receiver rankings at the top. So if you got the new rankings update, you're going to get another one today. I dropped it last night, but you're going to get another one today. But we got to talk about Ceedee Lamb and Jerry Jones. Those comments mean a lot. When you got a player who is invested in the team, he had America's team in his bio, took that off. He wants to get paid like one of the elite receivers in the game, coming off of an elite season. And now you want to say you're going to act like it doesn't matter. To me, I think that might be a problem heading into week one of the preseason. So is the link to the Discord in the bio? Yes, you can do free link to the Discord in the bio. Guys, if you have not joined the Discord, it's free. We got a really good community building in there. People are always looking for mock drafts. People are looking for people to join their league. So really good help when it comes to trades or mock drafts. So make sure you join the community if you haven't already. The Discord is lit. Dubs in the chat early, baby. Jacob, what's good, bro? First comment, Adam, what's popping, bro? He said start, bench, cut, TV, phone, or car. I think car is probably most important. You got to be able to get around. Phone is the lifeline to everything, though. So, and I cut TV. TV could go. If Ceedee gets traded, where does he go? I don't think Ceedee's getting traded. I think this is him holding out. He's going to get his bread. There's no way Jerry Jones trades the guy who he let wear number 88 over Michael Irvin. That's a Cowboy forever. He's going to be a Cowboy forever. It's just a matter of getting him paid. Jerry Jones is just a stickler. He wants people to do things on his time, his way. So I think Ceedee holding out is very much against the Cowboys brand, right? The Cowboys brand is you play for America's team. So when I say you do something, you do it. This is Jerry Jones's team. You fall in line. You don't complain about money. You get the contract when I pay you. Otherwise, you can hold out. We've seen it with Zeke. We've seen it with Dak. Eventually, Jerry's ended up paying a lot of these guys, but I have concerns that this thing might go into like the start of week one. I don't think it gets to like the actual gameplay, and we don't see Ceedee Lamb on the field. That's my gut on it. Early dubs in the chat, baby. Look, only locked in. Y'all starting to feel it now, right? I'm telling you, y'all gonna like that song. Y'all gonna like it. You'd be surprised. Listen, guys, if you want my autograph, if you're looking for where to get my rankings, they're on the Autograph app. Download the Autograph app. Use code JHEN, JHEN, and you can unlock it. All right. And if you want to comment right now, if you're not a member here and you want to comment, head over to the YouTube. I'm live on there, Justin Henry Show. I'm going through the chat right now. Yo, JHEN, I'm back. Can't wait to see how your takes turn out this year. Last year, they were heat. I catch a lot of flack for my takes, but two things. At the end, they're takes. Right? They're takes. Like, they're not meant to be like absolutes. It's, I have strong evidence that I believe in something, and I think this is how I rank somebody. Why would I be indifferent or like, I don't know about this take, maybe he could? Like, nah, I believe my shit. And to be honest, the second part of this is I'm good at this. It'd be different if I wasn't good, you know, and I was missing and shit. So, you know, for me, I feel strongly about being able to do my homework, do my research, and my knowledge and experience in the game. My takes, I expect them to be good. If they were bad, I'd be shocked, actually. I'd be very shocked if they were bad, if they were just like not good. So for me, I play the game, and I think you can tell who plays the game, and you could tell who knows how to play fantasy football, and you could tell who kind of just is like, who knows football. There's a difference between real football and fantasy football. You got to be able to separate the two. And I'm not saying that people that know real football can't be good at fantasy. It's just tough sometimes when you see elite talent producing on the field, and it doesn't always equate to fantasy production. It's hard when you haven't been playing fantasy football for 20 plus years like I have to know the ins and outs of like how to find a sleeper, how to find a breakout, how to find a fade, how to go against the grain. I think it's an art to it, and you had to have won in order to understand that. And I think a lot of people have not won, unfortunately. So, but that's why my stuff comes off as like crazy sometimes. People are like, "What? What are you talking about? You're going so far against the grain." In my rankings right now, against consensus, I have Alvin Kamara 50 spots higher on ADP than ESPN ADP or than Yahoo ADP right now. 50 spots higher, which to me is like, what? Alvin Kamara, a guy that's consistently been a top 10 running back? So, can you explain what happens with Lamb? He's still going to have to play, and if he's too much of a diva, maybe it affects how much he gets next year when he leaves Dallas. No. This is not going to affect Ceedee Lamb's money. What it's doing is he going to be on Dallas and get his bread, or is he going to be somewhere else and get his bread? And are they going to pay him before the season? So if it lingers into the season, yes, I'd be very concerned about Ceedee Lamb kind of being a diva this year, sitting out when he wants to, maybe not playing as hard. I would be concerned about that because when you feel undervalued, you don't always go. You know what I'm saying? You don't always play the hardest. You should. Like, think about it at your job. If you felt like, damn, I asked for a raise and they told me no, I wasn't good enough, you'd either be looking for a new job or thinking about your exit. And I think that would be the same thing. If the Cowboys don't pay Ceedee Lamb like he's the best receiver in the game or one of the best receivers in the game, it's going to be a problem. So I think they get this thing worked out. I think it gets a deal. It can't be too far off because the market, Jeddah's already set the market with 34 mil. And I think, obviously, with Ayuk asking for 30, CD's got to be 32 or higher. I think we kind of know the number. It's about what Dallas is willing to give up. And if they're going to make him play on his rookie deal. The link for the Discord isn't working for me. Can someone DM it to me? If someone can DM him the Discord link, that'd be appreciated. Really appreciate your rankings update on the draft guide. Drafting in a couple weeks, but so much has changed in just the last week or two. You know what? I could do that, man. Especially for people who were early birds with me, and trusted with me. You know what I'm saying? I could provide rankings updates. And if you got the fantasy football plan, maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll just, I don't know. I'll think of a way to make it worth your guys' time. All right. So thank you guys for the support. And if you bought the draft guide, I have a rankings update coming on the 15th. I might just drop y'all one today too. All right. Because I know some of you guys got drafts this weekend. So I got you guys. All right. I'll do that. At 110 and 2-1, who you picking, Saquon, AJ? I don't mind taking both of those guys. Haven't heard much on Ramondre. Any thoughts on him? He's in a bad offense. Obviously, year one coach with Gerard Mayo. And then you got potential rookie quarterback coming in later in the year. So I think with Jacoby Brissett, he'll be fine early on. It's just a matter of what does he look like once the rookie comes in. And I think Stevenson will be a clear RB2 with a little bit of upside in the passing game. So I don't mind Ramondre Stevenson being drafted where he is right now. I actually think he could be a little bit of a value. Do I think Ceedee misses any games? No. I think they get the deal done personally. But, it remains to be seen how hurt is Ceedee Lamb by all this. And Jerry Jones just did not help out anything. I saw the hey Jahan, the Ayuk news is on and off. What's up with it? I think it's closed right now because the Niners there's a report that the Niners are not like aggressive in trying to make any moves right now. So they've worked out deals. Brandon Ayuk has kind of said what he wanted, but denied the Pats because of the quarterback. So I think he has a very specific place in mind. Sounds like Pittsburgh, and sounds like that's the only thing that's holding up is what are the Niners going to get? When you get a team saying, hey, we're going to give you Kendrick Bourne in picks, we're going to give you Amari Cooper in picks, and all the Steelers want to give up his picks, to me, that might be tough. They're probably asking for a receiver because they're lacking receiver depth. That's why I think the team signed Chosen Anderson. That's why I think they signed him, because they're trying to find like a receiver in case they got to trade Ayuk to the Steelers. Panthers got destroyed last night. I know I was on Panthers money line too. The Panthers are not going to be good this year. I thought maybe Canales would come in there and like save the offense, but the Panthers are not going to be good. Panthers they're going to struggle this year. I think I think Bryce Young's going to look better, but they're not going to be a good football team this year. I thought Canales would come in there and get them right a little bit, but they're not going to be a good football team. How do you feel about CMC injury? I'm not sure how the CMC injury goes, right? So we got to see. All reports is that he's going to be ready for week 1, but who knows, right? If the injury lingers, if he re-injures it, trying to come back too fast, my gut is he'll be ready for week 1. The team will probably ease him in workload-wise. I think that's been their plan this entire offseason, is to limit CMC's workload for this season. Eduardo, appreciate you. Appreciate all the new follows, guys. Hey, like I said, I will be for TikTok. It's going to be a sub-only chat for the most part. I'll open it up over the next few weeks. But once the season starts, it'll be a sub-only chat, just to let you guys know, being completely transparent. But like I had this open for everybody early. You could always watch, but this is going to be a sub-only chat come week 1. You can always go to the YouTube page, it's Justin Henry Show, and comment there. People who sub on the YouTube can also comment. So let's see. Point me to a streamer that goes 100% on takes. Haters just be yapping most of the time about nothing. Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like it's an easy way to be like, haha, you missed. But like, I don't really, to be honest, it doesn't really matter to me. It's just funny. I'm like, what are y'all expecting? Like, when you see a fantasy football creator, any creator in this space, what are you expecting? You expect them to be perfect, or can they never brag about like when you get a nice hit, man? Sometimes it feels good when you get a nice hit, you want to be able to talk about it. And then there's other times you got to acknowledge misses, right? Like, you guys know, the people who know, like Daniel, I know you know, and there's a lot of people that watch. I'll acknowledge a miss. Like, who cares about a miss? It happens. There's no perfect person. If I was batting 1,000 on fantasy football content, shit, I'd be a gazillionaire, right? You could just always bet it. But it's like, you can tell who kind of knows what they're doing. I would say you want to have more hits than misses, which I can comfortably say there is. But it's just weird that like people expect no misses like that. I don't understand that. And what constitutes a miss? Like, if a player helps you win a championship, is that a miss? If a player doesn't help you win a championship, to me, that's if you win a championship, you hit everything. If you don't win a championship, you missed. What's up with Jaden Reed? Jaden Reed's going to be solid. I think Jaden Reed is, he's a starter on the Packers, obviously. I think he's the one there. So there's been reports that Jaden Reed has not been starting in 2 wide receiver formations, probably because of blocking, right? He's a little smaller, so you get Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson out there on the outside. But Jaden Reed, to me, is playing kind of like that Deebo Samuel role, where they use him in the run game, they use him in the short passing game, and he has good yak ability. So I like Jaden Reed where he's going right now in the wide receiver 3-ish type range. I think he has a lot of upside. Yeah, Jahan been doing it for years. That's a fact. At 110 and 1, I've answered this one already. What's the earliest you're taking Jettas? So I'm saying this on live right now, and I'm about to update this shit. And I'm like thinking it through. To be honest, you asked me this, right? I just made my rankings last night, and I moved Jettas up 1 spot. The Ceedee Lamb stuff has me concerned, so I dropped him below CMC, and I moved Tyreek Hill up. But the more I talk about Jettas, the more I'm thinking like this offense has nothing but Justin Jefferson. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, yo, Jettas should be the wide receiver 1. And the more I think about it, the only players I'd really take over Justin Jefferson right now are Bijan and CMC. And CMC's hurt. I don't know. I don't want to say he's my 2. It's hard for me to be like he's my 3. He's definitely in my top 5 from this point moving forward. I might put Jettas in my top 3. I might put Jettas in my top 3. I can't tell right now if it's over CMC or not. I might put him top 3. I just don't, I might put Jettas top 3. I'm not gonna lie. The more I keep talking about it, the more I think he's gonna be the wide receiver 1. Like Tyler asked me flat out yesterday. What happened was I was on stream with me and Tyler Health have a show that we put out, right? And I was talking about, he mentioned like Justin Jefferson as a player he was fading. And I'm like, okay, like I get the take. You got quarterback concerns. There's nothing wrong with the take. But it was when he asked me a question, he was like, do you think Justin Jefferson can be the wide receiver 1? And I was like, yeah. I was like, he could get 2,000 yards. And then I started thinking, I was like, what other receivers got 2,000 yard upside? Really, the only one is Tyreek Hill, and he has kind of a dirty playoff schedule. And he got Jalen Waddle to compete with. And I'm like, Justin Jefferson, what do you really have to worry about? If Sam Darnold is mediocre, meaning he throws for 3,500 yards. Say he throws for just 3,500 yards. He's mediocre, and he starts the whole year. Or J.J. McCarthy comes in, right? And they get a combination of 3,500 yards in Kevin O'Connell's offense. How much of that's going to be dedicated to Justin Jefferson? With T.J. Hawkinson out, with no more K.J. Osborne. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, you know what? What are we scared of when it comes to Justin Jefferson outside of quarterback play? Do I think Sam Darnold's going to throw, if he starts 17 games, if Sam Darnold starts 17 games, do I think he's going to be 150 yards a game? Like, that would be the concern. That would be like 2,500 yards. Do I think that? No. I think he's going to be probably around 200 to 225 yards a game. Where does that put him? Closer to 3,000 yard range, 3,000, 3,500 yard range. So if I think that, and I think Jettas is going to command probably 30% of the target share at least, what am I scared of? And shit, I'm like, you know what? I'm not. Jettas is moving up. I took him at, I liked him at 1 last year, and outside of the injury, he performed like that. So had a 12-man draft last night. Got Tyreek, Devontae, Kupp, Ayuk, K9, Mostert. God damn. That team is stacked, bruh. With that being said, Kamara in the 4th round. Absolutely Kamara in the 4th round. I actually have a video coming out on that right after this live. I should have dropped that shit right now. Couple questions. Thoughts on Brian Thomas Jr. Thinking of moving Jahan Dobson and Bateman for Deontay or Brandon Cooks, and Bateman for Deontay, and bench player thoughts. Damn, that's a long-ass question. So Brian Thomas Jr. should be a dog. I think he'll be, wide receiver 4 or 5-ish, probably flex worthy at some point in the year. Jahan Dobson can go. Bateman for Deontay, I don't mind that. And then Brandon Cooks and Bateman for Deontay, that might be a little too much in Dynasty, but I think in redraft, you're fine. Consolidation. Pats are releasing Juju. Where do you guys think he goes? Is that a thought, or is that an actuality? Like, is that really happening, or are you asking? Are you like talking about Q? You normally come in with facts. So did that actually happen? Pats are releasing him? They just said McCarthy isn't confirmed QB2. Damn. So yeah, Darnold. I trust Darnold. It just happened. All right, bet. Appreciate you, Q. Yeah. So looks like he was Mark, bro. Hey, Mark, I got a sub for you too, Mark. You know what I'm saying? I got you, bro. Hit me with a message, Mark, because I'm gonna try to get you a sub. Damn, he did get released. That's wild. Mark and Isaac, I'm gonna get you guys subs for this next month. All right. Hit me with a message, both of y'all. Isaac and Mark, hit me with a message. All right. Appreciate you guys for real. Oh, he is sub? Damn. Already subbed. Well, Mark, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man. We're taking Bijan at the 105. Would you take ETN or Tay or ETN round 2? Devontae Adams is clearly over ETN to me. I got you, Mark. Thank you. Yeah. Devontae Adams is clearly over ETN to me. Value-wise, who do you like more, Evan Ingram or Kyle Pitts? Evan Ingram or Kyle Pitts? I like Kyle Pitts for the value. He has way more upside. Where's the Discord link? Discord link's in the description. So if you check the description, or maybe somebody will post it here, I'll post it for you. If you want to join the Discord, here it is. If you want to join the Discord, here it is, bro. I got you. I ain't gonna make nobody else. I ain't gonna make you or nobody else do the work. Here you go, bro. Here's the Discord link. If you want to join the Discord, like I said, mock drafts. We got people looking for leagues, giving advice on mock drafts, trades. It's lit. Appreciate you, Daniel. I'm probably not gonna be on too long today. Not gonna be too long. Cup or Pittman? I got Cup over Pittman. How are you taking Cup and Kamara? I like Cup in the second round, Kamara in the third. But if you want to try to get them around later in your leagues, you'll probably be able to get them third and fourth round, Kamara and Cup. But to me, I like taking them in the second and third. I don't mind. Teddy, what's popping, bro? What's popping? What's popping? Rock out, I see you, bro. Appreciate you, man. What was your progression going all in as a creator? So here was my progression. I already have a marketing company, so I have like, some video editing expertise. I have like graphic expertise. I've been playing fantasy for a long time, and I've always been kind of the go-to guy for my friends in like content creation, right? So knowing that and just knowing, knowing what I know, I started a page with my friends. We were initially just like, how can we get some motion going? You know what I'm saying? We were just trying to, do it for fun. It ended up popping off. I knew I had something with my content when FanDuel reached out to me and they were like, hey, we want to work with you. So when FanDuel reached out to me, I was like, all right, bet. And then once I got to the space, I was doing everything with Fantasy Gods. And, I love my boys, but it got to a point where I was getting hit up individually for a lot of things. And they were like, well, you don't got no motion by yourself. So my page was only at like 200, followers on TikTok. And this was like a year or two ago, maybe 2 years ago now. And I was like, all right, bet, let me prove to you guys. It was more of a challenge. Somebody was like, yo, I don't believe in you. Or like, I don't believe you unless you have your own page. And then once I did that, I was like, let me run this shit up. So once I did that, I had a lot of companies reaching out to me. And from there, it's been deciding how much do I want to put into this. And this year I decided you guys have been asking for me for a lot, and I want to be able to give you as much as I can. So in order to do that, I had to make a couple changes to how I did things. That's why I'm doing it the way I am now. So that's full-time as a creator in a 3-year nutshell. Cade, my dude, appreciate you, bro. I'll see you on the next one, man. I'll see you on the next one. So hopefully that answered your question, man. And like I said, I think anybody who's ever decided that they want to be a content creator should just do it. Go. There's enough room for all of us to succeed, right? And you might be worrying about, do you know the sport well enough? Do you make good enough content? Do you have good enough opinions? Just stand on whatever you say. Be ready for haters to come to your door and continue to get better. If you're not focused on getting better, then don't start. But there's a lane for anybody that truly wants to be a fantasy football creator. And I would say it doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter what you sound like, does not matter your expertise right now. Take constructive criticism, be yourself, and get better. At the end of the day, if you get better, there's nobody else that can fucking stop you. Just don't worry about how many followers somebody else has. Don't worry about somebody else's success. Just grind. Just grind. If that's something you're really interested in, I think that there's room for more of us. There's room for people to have expertise. There's room for people to improve their rankings, bring some new expertise in life into this arena. So if that's your goal, if you've ever wanted to be a fantasy football creator or any kind of content creator in general, just do that shit, man. Do that shit. Believe in yourself and you'll make it, man. I promise. I promise. Do not stop. Do not stop. You drafting Diggs or Cup? I like Cup a little bit more than Diggs. Nico, Drake London, Cooper Kupp, or Debo in the third. Give me Cooper Kupp in the third. Jettis is like Barry Sanders. He's the whole offense. Exactly. I just got Bijan and A.J. Brown in Superflex. Hope it cooks. God damn. I think who are your quarterbacks? Are there examples of wide receivers who were the wide receiver one with a Sam Darnold level of player? Very interesting question. Some people would have called Tua Tagovailoa a Sam Darnold level player a couple years ago. I'm trying to think of like the wide receiver one with mediocre quarterback play. That's a very good question. Let me do my homework on that, actually. Or if somebody else has that answer, let me know. If somebody else has that answer, let me know. The side part of that is, what if Sam Darnold evolves into something that's not mediocre anymore? That's not bench worthy. What if we're talking about Sam Darnold having like a Pro Bowl season? Would that still constitute, like what if he develops into the player? Because he's really had a couple chances to start and he's always gotten hurt. So what happens if Sam Darnold actually like elevates a little bit, But I would say recently, like Tua, a lot of people were down on Tua, and we saw Tyreek go off. So that's a really good question. And I will do my homework on that and get back to you. At 110, 1 and 2-1, who are you taking out of these? Saquon, AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson, Taylor Kamara. Give me Saquon, AJ Brown. Saquon, AJ Brown. I answered that one. I said I would take Tay. When is the updated draft guide coming out? August 15th. August 15th. I just dropped the Discord link. If you're looking for the Discord, I just dropped it. Gibbs or Devontae Adams? Gibbs or Devontae Adams? Give me Devontae Adams over Gibbs. That's close, though. Actually, I don't know. Depends on what my team's looking like after that turn. More than likely, I'll take Devontae Adams, but I'm not mad if you take Gibbs. I think I have those guys ranked back to back. Like Gibbs is the last running back I would take, clearly in that range, and then Devontae Adams is right there too. It depends on my build. Depends on who I grabbed in that first round. Like if I took Saquon, I might take Devontae Adams over Gibbs. If I was in a 10-team league, I'd probably take Gibbs over Devontae. But if it's a 12-team league, I'm grabbing Devontae Adams. Those two were like, I would say if I were to look at my rankings, my top 250, I guarantee those two are probably like right next to each other. Devontae and Gibbs. I would bet that's how my rankings are. What are your thoughts on Sutton this year? Needs improved quarterback play. Jarrett Stidham. What's Jarrett Stidham going to do this year? That's the question. And Bo Nix is down on the depth chart right now. He's under Zach Wilson, which lets you know he's not ready. And Sutton doesn't really have Jarrett Stidham, for all intents and purposes, we're worried about Sam Darnold. I think the bigger concern is what the hell is this Broncos offense going to do? So they're not going to score a lot of touchdowns, and that's where Cortland Sutton's seen a lot of value this year. I'm kind of out on Cortland Sutton. I think he'd be wide receiver 4 or 5-ish. But at the same time, like we got to be able to see that Broncos offense move the ball, and I'm concerned about that. I got you, Rock Out. I got you. Yes. Being a creator, man, a lot of people don't talk about this, but like I've seen so many come in this space, and what happens is there's a lot of excitement right now in this month specifically. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of takes, and I would say, you get frozen when you get a lot of support early on because it's people that are like, most of the time they're not going to comment hate unless they've already seen your stuff, or they're not going to comment hate unless you got some motion. So you'll get a lot of early success, and you're like, man, people are fucking with me. And then when it gets to like, I would say when you start getting a little bit more, you hit a viral video or you build your following, now you're going to start to get some haters that come in and try to take you down. And I would say the one thing I hate is watching new creators go through like the month of September when their takes don't hit and then just quitting instead of getting better. That's the one thing I would say I don't like. And there's always improvement. They chase views and they chase the followers. And then once that stops in September and you start getting hit with a little adversity, you see them fold. I would say this, like in December months, in week 16, week 17, week 15, while I'm still giving you guys content, I tend to lose a lot of followers during that time because I've done it'll be a bad take at that time and I've let somebody down. I'll lose a ton of followers, but what do? You got to stand here in the face of it all, man. And that's part of being a creator in this space. So I would say, it's tough for those who are new, but the reason why I think people may or may not respect me, who knows, is because you see my face in week 17 when you need it most, and I won't let you down. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether good or bad, I'm finna be here on live, and we finna talk. So, good question on Tua. Yeah, I think Sam Darnold, I got to check that out. Geno Smith 2.0. It could be Geno Smith 2.0. Q-Dot said, what do you think about Juju to the Vikings? We talking about them not having many weapons. I think that'd be an interesting fit. I doubt he would go there, though. I think Juju is looking to get onto a place where he could be like a top option. So, like a Broncos seems like a good option. If maybe a reunion with the Steelers, if they don't get Ayuk. I'm looking at teams at the gutter where a paycheck and opportunity is more so there because you still got Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson to deal with if you're Juju. I think Juju still values himself as like a top 2-3 receiver on a team. So I think he would have to go to a spot where he'd have an opportunity to start, maybe not a guarantee, but like just beat out Van Jefferson. That kind of seems like a spot reunion with the Steelers. I don't know if that's the case or not. That's just me bullshitting. But I would think it would be an opportunity like that. It's still in round 2 with Bijan, AJB, hate slow. Oh, you got a slow draft? Yeah, slow drafts ain't it. How do you feel about taking AR and Daniels as your QB? Let's go. Let's go, baby. I'm all for the upside with AR and Daniels. One of those dudes is going to hit. They're not both going to get injured. And if they both do, just get another quarterback. There's plenty of quarterbacks out there right now. Appreciate you, Ben. Calvin Johnson had Dan Orlovsky, but he didn't produce a wide receiver one season until Stafford was there. Who would you take at the 102 in a 10-man league? I'm taking Bijan. Bijan is my number one player right now in a PPR league. Bijan's my number one player. I have no problem saying that. And there's a lot of people who are like, oh, you're crazy for thinking that. I think we're going to look back and be like, damn, Bijan was the number one player. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't say that this year if he's going to be used in a higher leverage role. We're talking about Tyler Algier, a lot of concerns with him. Algier is a backup. And I think everybody in the world knows that outside of the people who are panicking about his value. So I have no concerns with Bijan Robinson's workload. It's really just, does he stay healthy? If he stays healthy, I think he's going to challenge for the RB1 spot, especially with the concerns about CMC's workload being managed. So I like Bijan Robinson. If you don't like Bijan Robinson in a PPR league, I'm looking at like CMC, Jettas, and Tyreek now. So my pick is Bijan. For better or for worse, we going Bijan this year. All they need most of the time is the right system and weapons. Exactly. McConnell. Why is that name throwing me off right now? It's not O'Connell. I was like, why the hell is that throwing me off right now? I was trying to say Kevin McConnell, but I'm like, it's Kevin O'Connell. Yeah. Kevin O'Connell, to me, his system is set up for success. And we saw Jettas getting open at will over the last couple of years. If you're that worried about Kirk, the thing is, a lot of people called Kirk a mediocre quarterback when he was coming from Washington. So, and now Kirk was a top 10 guy. Jared Goff was called a mediocre quarterback until he went to Detroit, and they opened things up. Got him in Ben Johnson's system. So sometimes you're right. The system does make sense for quarterbacks. And I'm like, shit, maybe we see an elevated Sam Darnold this year. I don't know that, but I don't think Sam Darnold is like that bad. You have Gibbs at 12 and Adams at 13. Exactly. And like I said, it really just depends on who I got. Like if I was in a 10-team league, maybe I take Gibbs because I know I can get more receivers. But in like a 12 or a 14-team league, if I already had a stud running back, I probably would just go Adams. So they're right there, both of them. Megatron had 1,312 in 2008 with Dan Orlovsky. He only threw like 1,600 yards. Culpepper who threw 800. Damn. They threw 2,500 and 1,300 of it went to Calvin. That's crazy. Might have to ride. Ben, Ben, it's not, I would say Bijan is one of them players. Are you upset? Like, would you be mad if he was top 5? He was RB9 last year. The crazy part about Bijan is that he was the RB9 last year, and that was widely considered a disappointment. He was truly in a timeshare. He got benched damn near for one game where he only played one play. He was the RB9. So if we're really thinking about it, like better offense, new quarterback, new coordinator, team focused on getting him the ball. Bijan said he wants 2,000 yards. I believe that, dude. It's kind of like Tyreek when he said he wants 2,000 yards. I believe in motivated players. Star Bench Cup, message app, Google, YouTube. Let's go YouTube first, man, because YouTube, you know what I'm saying? That's the lifeline right now. Can't diss the lifeline. Jacobs or Kamara? Let's go Jacobs for now. I might move Kamara up too. Good takes or not, stand on business. Better or for worse, stand on business. Exactly. Guys, if you're trying to see the rankings, here you go. You can find them on the Autograph app too. This is my newest one as of today, but you can find my rankings on the Autograph app. Use code JHEN to get them. JHEN, JHEN. Juju in Baltimore has to beat out Bateman for wide receiver 2. That wouldn't be a bad spot. I worry about quarterback play there, but I guess if it was Denver, it'd be the same thing. It'd be the exact same thing if it was Denver, right? So I guess you're right. Yeah, maybe. That seems like a decent spot. Or, yeah, that seems like a decent spot. Should I drive? Hold on a minute. What did y'all think about the Quentin Johnston news? Did you guys see that? Quentin Johnston? Did y'all see the Quentin Johnston news? Greg Roman talking about he's going to be a big part of their offense? Like, to me, that's wild. I've kind of thought like I've been low on all the Chargers receivers because we've gotten like Joshua Palmer was their guy last year. We got a new coach, new offensive coordinator. They're going to be running the football mostly anyway. You have a pretty good quarterback in Justin Herbert. And then Now we have talk of like Quentin Johnston being heavily involved in the offense. He's going to be a problem, is Jim Harbaugh's quote. Now, Jim Harbaugh has had like, he doesn't normally tell the truth to the media. As a Niner fan, I know this. He's working through some things. It's a very common thing you will hear from Jim Harbaugh when it comes to like even injuries, right? He's working through some things. And he talks of all of his players. But like Ladd McConkey's been the guy everybody's excited about. What if it is Quentin Johnston? What if it's Quentin Johnston? What if they have a plan for him and it's not just deep balls? What if it is like line of scrimmage stuff and they're using him, I don't know. I'm not really interested in drafting a lot of Quentin Johnston, but what if the upside is there and we're like giving up too early on this player? Interesting thought. It was an interesting note to come out. Should I try to get Hurts in the third or AR in the sixth? AR in the sixth all day over Hurts in the third. Tim, what's good? He said, what are your thoughts on Anthony Richardson? He surprised me on your rankings. I think he has immense upside to be like the quarterback one. Anthony Richardson in the games he played was a 25-point player, 24-point player. And you don't find that very often. So when I look at Jalen Hurts, I'm expecting a little bit of dip in rushing touchdowns this year. New system with Kellen Moore. Obviously, you got Saquon Barkley, somebody you can trust at the line of scrimmage. I think the Jalen Hurts rushing touchdowns are going to come down a bit. So he comes down my board. Pat Mahomes, I think the only thing that saves him is a 5,000-yard season. That puts him in the top one conversation. Anything less than that, I don't think he gets it. So we would have to see a big aerial improvement from Pat Mahomes to be the quarterback one. And then who's the last one? Lamar Jackson. I think he can do it too. He's my number 2 right now. But yeah, that's Josh Allen, then Lamar, then A-Rich. I think that's why I have it the way I do. Thoughts on Eckler this year? Could be a good pass catcher in the air raid system. So do I have him low? I don't think top 24 upside is out of the question. I just doubt it. Like if I had to put a percentage on him being a top 25 running back, it'd be like 30-70, I think he could do it, but do I think he does it? Like, nah. He could, but will he? That's the question. And when you got a guy, Brian Robinson, it's like they're not going to force the touchdowns. Like Eckler was getting a lot of the touchdowns. That's why he was a top 5 guy. So he's going to be heavily leaned on for PPR production. Think like a James White in the Patriots, Danny Woodhead for the Chargers, That's the kind of role Eckler's going to play. So, and those guys were startable. They were flex worthy, but like they weren't the guy, they weren't always top 25. And if an injury happened, they're barely flex worthy. It's all good, Bo. Exactly. Quentin Johnston couldn't catch the ball last year, and there's been some problems with him in training camp too, as far as catching the football. So I think when it comes to Quentin Johnston, it's just, can he make improvements in his second year? Can he improve? That's the biggest question. And I'm not here to doubt him. In a vacuum, you like Bijan, AJB, or Hill and Saquon? In a vacuum, Hill and Saquon. Nah, probably Bijan and AJB, if I'm being honest. That's tough because I think Saquon and Hill both have like the best, the best player at their position upside, and AJB is like kind of on the fringe of that. So maybe, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't really care either way. I think you get more upside out of the Saquon Hill side. I think the AJB and Bijan side is safer. What are trading away Puka away in a tent? What? Ask that question again, Jeremy. I don't understand that. Gibbs or JT in PPR? Give me JT. Even PPR, I think JT could get like 2,000 yards rushing if you wanted to this year. I think an expectable floor, if JT plays every game, we should expect 1,500 yards rushing. Expecting that. If he plays every game. Najee Dalton in a second or Brandon Ayuk? Give me Brandon Ayuk. He should be a top 15 receiver at least for the next 5 years. Yeah, they'll get it done. I think they'll get it done too. They're just playing hardball. Sky, appreciate you subbing. You drafting Ayuk over Derrick Henry? It's been that way, but I got to see how this thing plays out. I've been drafting Ayuk over Derrick Henry. So yes, for now, but that could change here very soon. As much as I've been talking up Derrick Henry, and I think he'll be a top 7 running back, like that's where I have him ranked. I actually haven't been drafting a lot of him. I've been taking more receiver in the second round, when like your Ayuks, your Pittmans, your Cooper Kupps. So I really like Derrick Henry, but for whatever reason, I haven't been drafting a lot of him. So I'll have to figure out why. I think it's because I've been taking a lot of running backs. Like I'll take Bijan, I'll take Saquon. So I gotta find out why I'm not drafting Derrick Henry. And because I have him ranked really high and I believe in him, but why am I not drafting him then? Like in the second round, why am I not drafting him? Is it because I'm going RB? Like if I take a receiver in the first round, would I take Derrick Henry? I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna do a couple mock drafts when I get back next week and figure that out. I gotta figure out why I'm not taking Derrick Henry. Because if that's the case, then I have to lower him in my rankings, obviously. I can't put him up there if I'm not drafting him. So Cup over Nakua, yes. I got Cooper Cup over Puka. Cup is way up here. I got Cooper Cup in my top 10. A lot of people get too hopeful on stud wide receiver threes that we want them to be good, but the situation won't allow it. Exactly. I would say that too. A lot of times we want players to be better than they actually are. Where do you see the realistic floor for Marvin Harrison? I think a floor is probably like 800 to 900 yards. That would just be like, the teams are focusing on not letting him get involved. Maybe he gets nicked up in an injury or something. But I think the floor for him in a clean season is probably right around the 900 to 1,000 yard marker. I wouldn't expect anything more than that. My thought is that he gets closer to the 1,100, 1,200 marker. Yo, Kev, appreciate you, homie. Making it rain. Appreciate you, dog. You already know, man. Thank you. Yeah, I think his floor is probably like 900 to 1,000 if he plays a clean season, doesn't get hurt. I think more realistic to expect is like 1,100, 1,200. I think him absolutely crushing the season would be like 1,300 yards and like 8 to 10 touchdowns. I think that's him crushing the season. And Justin, you touch any of the Cleveland backfield, Ford to start. I like getting Jerome Ford as like an RB4, but you just know it's limited. Chubb will be back at some time in the second half. So I don't really like drafting a lot of the Cleveland backfield, but if Jerome Ford slips, I'll take him. What do you think about Keenan Allen? I talked about Keenan Allen. He's been a very hard player for me to rank because I know the talent's there. I do have concerns about the quarterback situation and the fact that it's a loaded wide receiver room. So I think at PPR, he'll be fine. Does he get enough volume? Like, does Caleb throw enough for Keenan to have value? And then does he get enough touchdowns? That's the thing you got to worry about with Keenan Allen. So he always gets open, and is Caleb good enough? So I have him down here. My gut is that he outplays that draft spot, but that's where I got Keenan Allen right now, and I haven't talked a whole lot about him because you play in Chicago. Down the stretch, things get kind of ugly in Chicago. That's about where I'm at with Keenan. I like the player, and I will take him as my wide receiver 3 all day long. All day long, I take him as a wide receiver 3. It's just I don't know how to properly evaluate him because I think there's players with way more upside that I would rather have instead. What were the results of your Creator League last year? I got second place. I lost in the championship to Puka Nacua went off on me. Yeah, Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. It was Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams went off on me in the championship. So I was the number 1 team all year long, and then I lost in the championship. So that sucked. I lost to the fantasy dude. Good dude. He was on my stream during the 12-hour stream. He's a good dude, man. I lost to the fantasy dude. So, and there was nothing I could have done differently that game. It was just like he killed me. He had the team, and they went crazy on me. So I'll be better this year. I'm gonna take down the Creator League this year. Number 1 team all year long, and then I lost in the championship, man. The worst feeling. You can only do so much to get there, but got me mad thinking about it, man. See, that's one thing people don't really know about me is that every league I'm in, like, I take that shit serious. I get mad when I don't win. Like, the expectation when I join any league is that I'm gonna win. Like, that's my expectation. Not medal, not compete for whatever, like not just trying to get to the playoffs. Like, if I don't win the league, I'm very disappointed. Like, that's how confident I am in my, like, any league I'm in versus it doesn't matter. I've been in like high stakes leagues. I've been in creator leagues, other in industry. So yeah, I was in another industry league for Black creators. In that league, I lost in the championship. I think I had one player last year that just kind of let me down, like across the board. I want to say Mike Evans had a shitty game in the championship, if I'm right. I think it was like Mike Evans. There was somebody I was drafting last year in the 17th week, in week 17, and they just had a dud. I can't remember who it was, but it was a player I was consistently very high on. Maybe was it Kamara? Like Alvin Kamara didn't play that week or something happened. I can't remember exactly what it was, but there was somebody, like 1 or 2 players that like let me down in a major way that I was heavily in on. And I lost, like I said, I went 2 out of 12 in my championships. And I can't remember who the player was, but somebody, it was either 1 or 2 players, a group of players that let me down in a major way week 17. Thoughts on Deebo Samuel this year? He has immense upside. Immense upside to me. If Ayuk's traded. Even if not, he was the top 10 guy on a PPR on a points per game basis last year. I think he was higher than that, but we've seen him be a top 5 guy before. I have no issues with Deebo Samuel in your top 5. Or, excuse me, in your top 10. All right, guys, a few more questions and I got to get out. He won me 4 championships that year because everyone I played was scared to draft him. Oh, talking about Stephon Diggs? Yes, Stephon Diggs went off his first year in Buffalo. Do you see that happening in Houston? Listen, that man's playing for a contract. That man is playing for a contract. So to everybody that thinks that Diggs is not like good or thinks he's a wide receiver 3 in this offense, you're crazy. Diggs was a top 10 receiver last year. And to be honest, like I like moving him up even more, but I understand the situation. It's a loaded receiver room on a Houston team that probably is going to be, pretty good this year. I don't think that like Diggs is going to do anything crazy, like a 1,500-yard season or anything, but he is a big part of that offense. That's why you trade for that guy. That's why you go get him. What are you trading Puka away for in a 10-team dynasty league? Treat him as a high-end wide receiver 2. I think, or treat him as a back-end wide receiver 1 if you're going to trade him. But I think at some point he might be replaced. This is no knock on Puka Nacua. It's normally like, how does he look in his second year? I think I would almost be wanting to hold Puka or trade him as a wide receiver 1. It really depends on what he looks like in year 2. Because I think this might be the highest value you get for him over the next 2 years with Cooper Kupp still there. But I also think like there will be a time when he takes over. It just might be when Matt Stafford retires. And then they might go to the next guy, Like that's how I see Puka. It's like he's kind of the 1B, maybe the 2 to Cooper Kupp. And then when Stafford retires, they're going to have a whole new quarterback in there. And that may or may not be a good thing for Puka Nacua. And when Kupp retires, are they going to get another receiver to complement? Is it going to be an early guy? Or are they going to trust him as the 1? Like there's a lot that's going to happen in the next 2-3 seasons with this Rams team. And right now, while you can get wide receiver 1 value for Puka Nacua, that's how I treat him, as a wide receiver 1. What are we doing with Ayuk and Pickens right now? So I have Pickens down here in the top 25 range, and I think I would kind of keep him here. Maybe I would tier him down below Calvin Ridley and Devontae Smith, but he's going to be elite no matter what. Still going to be like 1,100, 1,200-yard guy. Why is Pittman so high for you? You think Pittman's high? He was a wide receiver 13 last year. I always kind of question that, like why you think somebody's so high. Where do you think he should be ranked? That's the question, is where do you think he should be ranked? Like, to me, we've seen the targets go up in 3 straight years. It's another year in Shane Steichen's offense. We're going to get Anthony Richardson at quarterback, he saw volume. When he was healthy, Pittman saw volume from him early on. He saw 8 targets a game from early on. I know it was like one game with 11 targets, the other game with 5, but Anthony Richardson's going to be better. The only thing he's going to struggle with is touchdowns, and he struggled with that last year. So I think volume-wise, he could probably get to 100 catches this year. The targets are probably going to go up again, and the yardage should be around the same, 1,100, 1,200 yards. Unless he gets hurt, why are we worried about Michael Pittman? And didn't he left one of the games last year. He got that concussion. I don't know if he missed a game, but why'd be worried? He said, just curious. That makes sense. Got you. No. Sky, ask the question. I'll be talking shit, man. Sometimes I talk a little too much shit. But just get to know me, man. I don't mean no harm by it. It's all love. So I'm not trying to down talk you or nothing. It's who I am. I do it sometimes. My wife hates it. A lot of people do, but it's who I am. I don't mean nothing by it. It's just me talking. It's me talking in generalities when I got to be better about that. RB rankings, I'm not doing those today. I will do those when I get back on live. Listen, I actually got to get going. I appreciate everybody who's joined the chat so far. I'm going to answer this last one from Yeet Man. Thank you for being a member, Yeet Man. What was your best trade you made last year? I would say last year, probably, it wasn't a lot of good trades because what I was doing early on was trading for Cooper Kupp. I was going to get a lot of Cooper Kupp, and that kind of did me dirty, but he was good down the stretch. I would say maybe Cooper Kupp later, but I think I gave up. I can't remember what I gave up. I can't remember my best trade from last year. I'd have to think about it or look in the leagues, but all right, y'all. Hey, I will see you guys next Monday. I will have some posts over the weekend. I'm going to be on vacation. I will see you guys later. See you on Monday. Peace out, y'all. Q. Dot. Appreciate you.